Good evening, everybody. It's Paul here at the Toon Review, alongside my old buddy there, Peter Proudlock. How are you doing, Pete?
Not so bad. And yourself?
Yeah, good. Tonight it is basically going over the press conference and a couple of quotes that we got from Steve Bruce today regarding the game tomorrow, who's fit, who isn't, and things like that. It'll only last about half an hour, 45 minutes at the most. I've got my tea to go and have, and Peter's got a live stream tonight, so it'll just touch on the more important points. But before we look at what he actually spoke about, there is one thing that I didn't get the quotes from, and that was Ryan Fraser, Peter. And he did mention Ryan Fraser, saying it's a bit frustrating that he isn't fit. But for me, I don't think Ryan Fraser's heart's in Newcastle United. I really don't.
That's what I wonder as well. Or what are they working on in training that's making them not up to full match fitness? That's another thing you could ask questions about as well, because I don't think he's looked fit all season.
Yeah, totally agree. David saying now, Paul, what happened to Wednesday Night Live? It's not happening. Sav's had our hours changed at work, and it was the only night that we could fit in, basically. I am thinking of bringing Thursday Night Live back with Jade. She's agreed to do it. So it'll give her more airtime as well. So that should be starting up again in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out for that. Evening, Paul. Hope you're well. Chipper says, see Bruce yet again saying the word "if" in the conference. Honest, the bloke has as much positivity of a saying on a tampon packet. Well, yeah, it's pathetic what he comes out with week in, week out. Good evening, guys. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again. John has been kidnapped, has he? Okay, fair enough. Good evening, Retro. Good evening, mate. Could be kind. You're right, Paul Fraser can't be asked. Yeah, I genuinely believe that now. His heart's not in Newcastle United, and as far as I'm concerned, if his heart's not in the club, Peter, he may as well start off.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he doesn't want to be here, then we might have to look at getting a price for him, because I think he's still got it at the moment. Yeah, just doesn't sound like on Newcastle. Well, he's just not. It is.
He doesn't have these injuries when he sods off to Scotland and he scores goals and he's running around the pitch like a blue-ass fly. Yet suddenly he comes back to Newcastle and he's injured all of a sudden. It's pathetic for me.
Yeah, it's like one game he's available and he's out the next game, and
it's such a shame, it is, because he has got talent. I know he has, but this is again, maybe it's just showing what happened at Bournemouth. He causes trouble, and apparently he has done that behind the scenes at Newcastle, where he's just sort of kicking off and complaining about everything. It's not the type of thing we want to see. Thing with Fraser, he was going to sign someone with injuries and on big wages. Exactly, that's the thing. But. Hey ho, Paul says I'd keep Richie down the left, definitely. Good evening, Dave. Hope you're well, mate. Let's have a look at the first one we've got from the press conference today, and he's talking about Jamal Lascelles and Fabian Schär. Jamal is frustrated as hell and is in a boot, unfortunately. So he's not in. Well, is it a plaster or is it just a boot? He needs time, but he hasn't ruled himself out of the season yet. So let's hope he can have a speedy recovery. Fab is making good progress and is doing very, very well. Now, the rumour has it, Peter, that Fabian Schär may be fit before the end of the season, hopefully to play the last 3 or 4 games. But if Lascelles is in a boot, I can't see him being fit before the end of the season, surely.
No, I mean, if it's a fractured foot, you could be talking months with that.
Yeah.
A few months.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Depends how bad the fracture is in his foot. I would be surprised if Lascelles was not to play again for the rest of the season.
I don't see the risk in putting him in, to be honest.
No, neither do I.
If he's got that kind of injury, why risk him? We have people there who can cover him. We proved that against Burnley. So, Michael says, evening lads, what you think of Shelby saying we have a better squad than West Ham? Well, Shelby's talking bollocks, basically, Michael. He's talking absolute bollocks, because if we were as good as West Ham, then why aren't we as high as West Ham in the league? It's absolute tosh, man.
We could be high, but we've just got a dinosaur manager.
Yeah.
We've got a shit manager.
But we also have players some players, Shelby included, who just seem to perform when they want, or they're not good enough, full stop.
Exactly.
So he's just making a fool of himself again, John Joe Shelby. I mean, he comes out with that, and then he just doesn't perform on the pitch. It's just the way he is, unfortunately. Paul says Lascelles is terrible, and pleased he's out. Chipper says, just hope the cabbage doesn't risk either Shah or Lascelles, but his track record says otherwise. Exactly. Shah, obviously he's been working back to fitness, hasn't he? I mean, it was a horrible injury he got again. I mean, he's been through the mill, Fabian Shah, the last couple of seasons with injuries. Yes. But I'd like to see him back more than Lascelles, Pete.
Yeah, I think I've been impressed with Fabian Schär this season. I really have. I think he's looked solid. And he hasn't done what Lascelles does, where after we've conceded a goal, he's just got his head down. And hopefully we can't see Fabian Schär back for some more games for the remainder of the season, because we don't know what's happening with his contract yet. Is he staying on or is he going?
Yep, nobody knows.
It's up in the air at the minute.
Well, rumour has it that Shah's... Well, this is just rumour that he signed a 12-month extension, but nobody's confirmed. The same as Dwight Gale's contract as well. Nobody knows. Stephen at Geordie Talk, apparently I was talking with a shite. About what, mate? I'm not sure what you're on about there. Let us know. Exquisite says, I spotted the last game for us when the fixtures were out, and I knew it would be so important to win and be a big game. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be... The running's going to be very interesting. Paul says, I love Clark. I think he's class. I'm a big fan of Clark.
Same, yeah, that's a good thing. Bruce did was give him another chance, because he looked like he'd fallen way out of favour under Rafa. And I'm glad Steve Bruce done that with Clark. Wanted to put his faith in him. And I think he's done very well. He really has.
Layla says, best Premier League signing this season in the Premier League. I hope you're not talking about Ryan Fraser, because you're making a bit of a fool of yourself, Layla. Apparently, I was talking to the shite on Twitter, detailing how poor Shelvey is. Listen, you're going to get the people who are John Joe supporters, mate. That's always going to happen. I think, from what I can see, a lot of the fans have had enough of John Joe now. He's definitely had his time. His legs have gone.
Yeah.
I've just been watching the Three Amigos before coming on here on Steve Ray's show, and Steve Hasty and Mitch, they're all agree that his legs have gone, and it's just the way that the whole fan base thinks that, or 80% of them, I would say.
Well, exactly.
Paul says PD Lascelles' foot is not fractured. With stress fractures, rest, protection of the bone, stopping the inciting activity, most commonly running, will allow to heal 6 to 8 weeks. That's for me the season. That's the season.
Because we've only got we're only a month away from May now, and not far away from the season finishing.
Time's running out.
It'd be stupid out for the season.
Stupid to risk him.
Exactly. I mean, Fernandez, Clark, and Schär, I think they've done a lot more than him this season by a mile.
Definitely. Totally agree. Dave says, I do think we have a better, or at least as good as West Ham, but with a dinosaur manager and underperforming team, we are where we are. Yep. I mean, we said on paper for a long time that we have got a decent squad.
We have.
It's just the manager lets us down with his tactics. So, yeah.
Exactly. And we've got players who either can't be bothered or who are just not good enough for this football club.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Michael says, would love to hear the points that people use to defend Shelvey. So would I, actually. Layla says, I meant who has been the best Premier League signing this season. Oh, God, Christ. Yeah, there's probably been a few. I'll have to have a think about that, Layla, to be honest. Jake says, how good has Murphy been recently? Yep, excellent. And brilliant. I want him in the team again.
Dave, I've kept him in it. Yeah. I've kept him in the side.
I mean, I did mine review yesterday, and I've gone for pretty much the same team, apart from putting Wilson in and ASM. I think they have to play. I've
gone for them as well. Yeah. The only one change I want to see is Willock for Shelvey, but is it going to happen? Probably.
Well, he's not. Realistically, we want that, but he's not going to do that, is he? He's going to put, Shelvey as captain. He's not going to change that. He's not going to drop Shelvey. So, I think we might get overrun in midfield tomorrow. The way Burnley came right through the middle of us. West Ham, you've got to remember, West Ham are a very strong counter-attacking team. I still don't believe that West Ham are all that at the back, but they are fast on the break. And with Lingard, he has just transformed them again and given them that extra step this season. And I think that is, that's going to be the danger for us for midfield. For me, we could get overrun tomorrow, but then Steve Bruce doesn't think of things like that.
That's the thing.
Which is a worry for me, because I think we genuinely will get overrun. Paul says John Joe is finished, can't even beat the first man on corners. Add young Longstaff in there more than John Joe. Well, yeah, I mean Matty, but we know he's not going to play Matty either. He's already said Matty's out in the cold at the minute. Shelby needs to jog on and do another Harry Potter. Antonio or Wilson. Well, Wilson for me. Antonio's too. He's well. I'm saying he's too injury prone, and Callum Wilson's been injured a lot as well. So, Paul says Lingard best one for me. Like, yeah, I mean, I remember when we did that show on transfer deadline day, and that came through, Peter. About Lingard, and we all really said that we didn't think Lingard's heart was in it anymore, and that he was, basically moving to London to promote his fashion and things like that. And how wrong we've all been, because he's just loving life at West Ham, isn't he?
Yeah, well, Moyes is getting the best out of him in the minute, playing in his correct position, and Moyes has got him playing very well. He's hard. I just didn't think it was at Man United anymore. I think he wanted to be away from there, and I think he'll probably be sold permanently at the end of the season. Yeah, I do as well.
I think it'd be very interesting to see what fee they want for him, though. Jake says, "Do you think we'll see better from Fraser maybe next season?" Can't get my head around why he can't get going. I really don't. This thing about going away on international duty. He's done it twice now. Remember, this isn't just the first time he's done it. He did it last international break. He went and played for Scotland and he scored and looked perfectly fit to me. And then come the weekend, literally 2 days later, he's injured again. It doesn't sit right with me at all. And if he's not committed to us, then he can bugger off as far as I'm concerned, because I don't want any players at Newcastle United who have an attitude like that. It's as simple as that.
We've had far too many of them the past few years. We've had Sissoko, Wijnaldum, Yamat as well. We've had so many players.
Just losing hard too easy, and it does me head in. Dave says, I love the comment on the three amigos. Shelby would get lapped on a 100-yard sprint. Yeah, exactly. I would rather have Elliot Anderson than John Joe. He's an option. How good is that Souček? He's a good player, him. And I think he can do a lot of damage to us tomorrow.
He can.
Well, let's have another look at a quote from Steve Bruce on the points situation this weekend. If we can get a result to go 9 points clear before the teams play, it would give everybody a lift. I'm a bit confused about that one, Peter, because surely last week would have given them a lift, and he doesn't seem to mention that we've got 6 points over Fulham, and that surely would have given them a lift.
Well, definitely. I mean, we'll be looking to that. I think it's a bit of a boost, but it's not going to be an easy game.
Yeah.
But if we get another 3 points, that'd be great. That would be great indeed.
I think 3 points tomorrow, and I think we're safe. I would confidently say that we're safe.
I think we'll also leap above Brighton and Burnley as well if we get the win as well.
Yep. It just puts the pressure on the other teams, doesn't it? I mean, if we get the 3 points, considering we play first this time, and we've got an opportunity to get ahead of some teams, and put the pressure back on the other ones, and just maybe that the other teams around us will buckle. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. He went on to say a second win in succession would take NUFC to 35 points, which is touching distance, in my opinion, of where you need to be. Bruce says it's a big game, but big opposition as well. And David Moyes has his vote as manager of the year. So he's bigging up Moyes there, as usual, bigging up West Ham, as he normally does. But, this thing about 35 points, Pete, we shouldn't be there. We just shouldn't. We should not be down there on
absolutely not.
It's rubbish, man.
Exactly. Well, I've mentioned this season, whether we're stale or not, it's been an absolute complete and utter write-off, because it's been utterly nothing but shambolic and just torture to watch.
Yeah,
like we've played this season. I mean, Gary, me.
And I just think he's saying there 35 points as if that's an acceptance, and that really pisses me off. A club like Newcastle United now have to accept to get to 35 points. We should be looking to get way more points than 35. And it's just, again, this defeatist attitude that Steve Bruce has, and just as long as we finish 17th, I've done my job. It's bullshit.
No.
Michael says there, I wouldn't complain if we sold Fraser. Clearly not interested in playing for us, and that was evident with his sending off at Sheffield months ago. I mean, you know, when I do look back to that, Peter, when we did mention that quite a few times when he got sent off, he didn't show any emotion. He just trundled off the pitch. He didn't complain. He didn't look at anybody. And that worried me there. And I've said it for a long time now that he has to prove himself, and he hasn't done that yet. So
no, that's the thing. Maybe one game, but yeah, one game's no good at all, is it? I mean, you need to be doing that regular this season.
Yeah,
he just hasn't.
Layla says, I'm a massive fan of Ishmael at Barnsley. 24th, survived on the final day last season, now 5th. Love him. Let's get him in there. We'll love him at Newcastle United. He is getting quite a lot of praise this season, the Barnsley guy, isn't he?
Yes.
But I guess, that's kind of where we'd probably be looking really for a new manager if Bruce left, because we know we're not going to get the big boys over the, I know the takeover's kicked off again and it's trending and all of this, but you know what it is? I don't want to hear nothing about the bloody takeover until it's done. I'm sick of seeing so many rumors and
yeah, I mean,
it's getting bonkers again, man. Beat says, really hope we start our strongest team, even if we only get an hour out of Wilson. His record speaks for itself against West Ham. Totally agree. We have to start with our best team, Pete.
Absolutely. If we want to stay in this Premier League for next season, we need to put in our better players. Now, I mean, not Joe Linton, not Dwight Gale, Demorrow, because they're not good enough for this club. But you can tell how up front was like when Wilson was out injured.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so weak up front, and that's why we need him, ASM, back at the side as well.
Yeah, but we're right. I mean, Bede said there, if we only get an hour out of him, so what? That's if he's fit enough to be on the bench, he's fit enough to start, in my opinion.
Exactly.
I mean, people may disagree with that, but I've always led to believe that if you're fit enough to be on the bench, then start. Especially our best players that we need on that pitch to do something. Because West Ham are coming here challenging for a bloody European Champions League place. So they're not going to come here and just sit back and soak it up and just be on the sunbeds on the beach. No way. No. They're going to be up for the game.
Absolutely. They really will be. It's going to cause a bit of concern.
Yep,
for us. Because West Ham, they're not going to be no pushovers. No chance.
It's a totally different side to what we met on the first day of the season.
Absolutely.
Trenson said, shite how low our expectations are under manager and owner. I won't be celebrating not going down, only the increased chance of a takeover. Yeah, I mean, I'll not celebrate us staying up because I think that's ridiculous, to be honest.
I mean, just be like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, it'll be more relief than anything else.
I think people just want the season to finish.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to be jumping around my living room and if we stay up. It'd just be a mass relief, you know what I mean? But yeah, and that's exactly how it'll be. A few more quotes from the press conference. We got Steve Bruce on tomorrow's game. We need to get to the levels we were at the last time at St James's Park against Spurs, when we played arguably the best we have all season. If we can get a result to go 9 points clear before the other teams play, again, he says it would give everybody a lift. They have to play to the highest standards without a doubt, because if we don't, West Ham will just come through us like a truck.
Exactly, yes. And the defence is going to have to be on top as well, because go back to that Spurs game, the way we let Harry Kane get them 2 goals was outrageous, particularly the equaliser.
Yep.
We can't afford to switch off at the back, particularly, because we did do that.
Yeah, and that's where we need to keep an eye on Lingard. I mean, would you put somebody on Lingard as a man-for-man marker, knowing how well he's played lately, and the space he seems to create for himself is unbelievable at times, and other opposition teams haven't been able to pick him up. So do you think it might be worth just saying maybe to Sean Longstaff, he's your man, you stick to him, or would that create more problems through the middle for Newcastle, because then we're relying on Mr. Shelvey?
You could try that, but again, I think the 3 centre-backs have got to do a job as well, which I think Bruce is going to go with tomorrow. It's probably going to be Fernandez, Clark, and Dummett. So one of them is going to have to keep an eye on him at least.
Yeah, I suppose we could do it that way, couldn't we? Because we've got the extra man at the back.
Mm-hmm.
But it all depends how West Ham play. I mean, if they play counter-attacking football, they could really cripple us. Through the middle of the park is a massive worry for me. If we do stay in that formation that we've been playing in, I think the middle of the park is West Ham's all day tomorrow. Chipper says, still 20 months in, Bruce has never played his strongest team, and tomorrow I don't think he will again, sadly. No, I mean, this is the thing. He isn't playing his strongest team because he's including Shelvey. Layla said, if you had to take... Yeah, exactly. If you had to take 3 players from West Ham, who would they be? And Lingard can't be included.
I think I would go for that Gerard Bowen. I think
Bowen's a good player, yeah. I mean, we were in for him originally, weren't we?
I think that Souček is a very good player as well.
Love him. I like Cresswell at left back as well. I think that's... Is he related to the one that plays for Chelsea? Or I don't think that... I'm not sure they are, but there's one place for Chelsea, doesn't there? There's Aaron and there's Ryan.
I'm not too sure.
Because the one that played for West Ham, I just remember him scoring an absolutely belting free kick against Man United at the London Stadium. Well, it was last season or the season before.
Last season.
But they've got some real talent in there, and I think what Moyes has done to his credit is he's building them up like Everton. To be honest, he's starting to really, really build foundations there. And I think if West Ham had better owners again,
again, their owners
last night, are
not the best as well. I've seen protests from them as well, from their fans, and but I think what I will say is if West Ham, if they are going to be in Europe next season, they're going to have to really strengthen.
Oh, they're going to have to spend without a doubt.
Because it could massively backfire. I think it did with us when we finished 5th under Pardew, and next season we slumped to 16th.
Yeah, exactly. Totally agree. Chipper says, does that not say how bad we've been when it has took us to game 30 to put our best performance in? Well, exactly. But Steve Bruce doesn't think that. Beat says, Bon Lahore telling us fans to thank Steve Bruce for our win against Burnley. He's more deluded than Bruce and was a crap footballer. Listen, Bon Lahore is irrelevant to us. He's got nothing at all to do with Newcastle United. And I saw you put a couple of tweets out condemning him, Pete, and I think he's just making a complete arse of himself. The man is just... He's got this ambition to be this great pundit, and he doesn't realise that, even the Aston Villa fans don't like him. And I didn't realise that until a few of the Villa fans spoke, messaged and said, he's an arse. He's just a complete arse. It's all about him. And he'll say whatever he can to create headlines to be this big pundit. And honestly, and Talk Sport are just as bad, because they're putting him on and they're all looking like idiots.
Yeah, there's not just him. You've got that Simon Jordan, Jim White.
Jim White's gone a long way down in my estimations. Yes. I mean, I used to love the guy, but he is just turning into a turtleneck wearing piece of crap. To be honest, he's just. I mean, giving Jordan a say, giving Steve Bruce's son a say. All these people that he's just putting on, and he's got our backs up by doing it. And so he's gone a long way down for me. We were Bourne's preferred choice. Yes, we were. It's Chilwell at Chelsea. Yes, but there's a Chilwell also plays for... Oh, no, it's not. It's Cresswell that plays for Chelsea. Sorry. Cresswell that plays for West Ham and Chilwell that plays for Chelsea. Yeah. I'm getting them. That's it.
That's it.
Chippers, I will never admit to you being right, but you're right. So it's Chilwell at Chelsea. It's Cresswell at West Ham. So there you go. But I do like Cresswell at West Ham. Layla said, wouldn't you take Kufal at right back?
Not a bad right back as well.
I don't know, because I think long term, Jacob Murphy could be our right back. Could be. Even in a 4. I think if we can get the right person in to coach this guy and coach him defensively, I think we've got a tremendous right back there who's got the engine to get up and down the field and cross the ball, which is what we've missed. I mean, who was the last right back who you said could really cross a ball?
Talking a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Jan Matt was a great crosser of the ball. No. I don't think it was the other French guy that was there.
Debuchy.
I don't think he was a great... He had an engine on him, but I don't think he was a great crosser. So if we can convert Jacob Murphy, if that's the way he wants to go,
I think I'm probably going to have to say Danny Simpson because I think I thought he could really cross a ball into the box. I must say. And that's go back 7, 8 years ago now.
Habib Bey could cross a ball. I was gutted when we let him go, to be honest. I thought he was a tremendous player.
I think that was a player who wanted off the ship. So
yeah, he did. I
thought good riddance.
Tom said for me it would be Rice, Souček, and Antonio. Even lads, tough week ahead. Certainly is, mate. Certainly is. Ollie says, think a job like Man United is too big for Moyes and a job like Sunderland too small. Clubs like Everton and West Ham are perfect for him. Wouldn't mind him at the Toon just to see what he can do. I mean, he was getting pelters at the start of the season, wasn't he? And he's just really turned them round. And, you have to say hats off to him.
Exactly, yes. I mean, he's got them playing. It didn't work out from a Man United. It probably was too big. Sunderland, well, he wasn't going to get any money to spend, was he? That was the thing. But he's done brilliant for West Ham this season.
Considering he went back to them after they gassed him off a couple of years ago, you know what I mean? He could have just said, nah, sod you, you know what I mean? I'm not going back. But he's certainly thrown egg in the faces the owners, hasn't he? Another comment from Steve Bruce. Wilson and St. Maximin have trained all week, so that's 2 or 3 times. And they're both okay. They've both had muscle injuries, and they're the most difficult to manage because they both rely on explosive pace and power. There's a decision to be made. For me, there isn't a decision to be made, Peter. He's got to start them.
Put them in. You need your best players in. If we want to stay in the Premier League for next season, get them in. Because if you throw Joe Linton and Gale on the start, well, what's that going to bring you?
Yeah. See, I mean, sorry, Pete. The thing is, right, if you look at it this way, if they start the game, right, they've had a good warm-up before the game, right? They're ready to go. If they come on as substitute, that is more risk for me because, they've done a few stretches and sprints down the sideline, but that's not in the game. That's not really warming up, and any sportsman will know that. You're not 100% warmed up when you come on. That, for me, especially with muscle injuries, is more dangerous than not starting the game. So, for me, he's got to go with them. And we can't be powder puff up front because we know West Ham are... Well, I wouldn't say they're frail at the back, but they are prone to errors at the back. They showed that against Leicester last week.
Yeah, they have.
3-0 up and 10 more minutes, and Leicester could have won that game.
Could have been. So that's why you need your best players.
Yeah,
because you need them to test that defence. Because certainly Dwight Gale and Joe Linton are going to be doing that because they're not good enough.
Totally powder puff up front, Pete. That's how it is for me. That's how I view that. Also, he says on Federico Fernandez, the one thing about Fed is he's a great pro. He always first in the gym. He's immaculate in his preparation. It didn't surprise me. He did so well, and we needed him at Burnley. I was delighted for him. So it looks as if he's going to start anyway, the way Steve Bruce is talking there.
Easily. I think I like Fernandez. He's a very solid centre-back as well. He was dropped out the past few games because I think that was because... I thought Lascelles and Clark did put a foot wrong at the time.
Yeah, you can't drop them.
Yeah, but because Lascelles has got that injury, it's a good idea to get him back in the side now because he's one of our solid centre backs. I
love his commitment, Pete. I
do as well.
He throws himself at the football. He throws himself at shots, and he's in there straight away, and he's so reliable. I mean, I can't remember the last time Fernandez made a mistake.
Same here. It's definitely been a long time since he's made a mistake.
Chippers, you've got no chance, mate. No way. Isn't Jim White a scum fan? Do you know what? I don't know. He never gives it away who he supports, to be honest, but I don't really care. I mean, the fact that he's done so many things this season, got guests on and his little chum there, Simon Jordan, with his, his... Botox or whatever he does and his little flash haircuts and things like that. You know what it is? Let them say what they want. Eventually, all these pundits are going to have to, eat the words because one day, whenever that may be, we'll be at the right end of the league and let's see what they say about us then. They'll probably still criticise us, as fans. But, I think Newcastle fans in general have we've become, immune to a lot of it now because it just gets thrown at us season after season. But sod them, basically. Layla says, I don't think Murphy is a right back. I think he's preferred to a right wing back position. Yeah, and I agree, Layla. But what I'm saying is, if he plays right wing back for a few games, we can coach him into playing a right back, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, we need someone better to coach him. But what we do need to make sure we do is give him a new contract extension.
Yeah.
Because it runs out the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And if we let him go, I think it'll be a massive mistake.
Yeah.
Because I rate the lad.
I'd be crippled to see Murphy go. I mean, he's a boyhood Toon fan. His heart's in it. He's so committed to the club.
Yeah.
He went out on loan. He didn't want to sign for anybody else. He used the loan, especially at Sheffield Wednesday, to his advantage because I think he's drastically improved a lot of his games since he was at Sheffield Wednesday, and he's come back a much better player. So for me, they've got to get them signed. They've got to.
Yeah.
Tom says most of them on TalkSport are absolute shit stirrers of the highest order. And Layla says, thanks for the quality content as always. You're very welcome, Layla.
I was about to talk about it. Simon John he really grinds me.
I mean, you know what? The guy just thinks he's above everybody, and that's what pisses me off about him.
Say we have people who shouldn't have an opinion and said football fan channels shouldn't be allowed to be run. Bollocks.
I know that. I couldn't believe he come out with that. I mean, what gives him the right to say that? Yet, he has the right to sit in a studio alongside his mate Jim White and criticize everything or put his point of view across. We as fans are perfectly entitled to put our.
And I watched when they had Robbie from AFTV, and I think Robbie just put him in his seat.
Oh, I did. He was tremendous, Robbie. I sent Robbie a tweet after that and said, well done, mate, because he absolutely ruined him there. And I think that, he's done that a few times. That they had Gary Neville in on AFTV as well and made him eat his words as well. So there's a lot, I think a lot of fan channels like to stick together, especially when we're being criticised, especially at the minute. It's our only voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, it's a voice that they're going to have to hear for a long time. I mean, I could rant on about Simon Jordan for hours, and I'm not going to because it'll raise me blood pressure. And I've managed to keep that low the last couple of weeks, which is nice. So you know what I mean. But you're right, what you say. It just grinds on you, and to the point where you just don't want to listen to radio stations like that. Chipper says if our training had any intensity, then these muscle injuries wouldn't happen. I just think they don't train enough. And Peter, we know that if players don't train enough, they're not going to be, the muscles aren't going to be as they should be.
No,
and I just can't get over this 3 days a week, man.
Should be more. I mean, if Bielsa gets his Leeds side in 5 days a week, why can't we do it?
Exactly. But, we're not professional like that. Jake says Wilson and ASM have been training hard all week. Bruce got them playing FIFA an hour a day on Tuesday and Thursday. That wouldn't surprise me either. Michael says if Bruce actually got the team training properly, then we may not have had muscle injuries too often. Beat says we're so relieved to see that Kraft had been dropped against Burnley. Hopefully we never see him in a Toon shirt again. God.
Oh, that's a player that can go at the end of the season. Goodbye.
Without a shadow of a doubt. David Jones is the Mackham. Right. Okay. Yeah, he is. If we had Archer in our team, he would score defenses with that handlebar. Oh, God, yeah. Definitely. Good evening, Andrew. I'm late as I've been out on mountain bike, bloody knackered. Well, you can watch the rerun, mate. It's only a short one tonight because obviously, just talking about the press conference and a quick review of the preview for tomorrow. Jake's a sad thing is so many pundits are ex-players and managers. The journals suck up to them, and it's evolved into a proper gentleman's club where working class opinions aren't welcome. Wow, that is a spot-on thing to say there, Jake. You're right. And it is, because you look at the likes of Jordan, etc., on the radio, and it is. It's just these posh people having a... Jordan thinks because he's made a bit of money, he's got a right to talk about us fans and say, we shouldn't have fan channels, we shouldn't have a voice, all of this kind of crap. It's just because he thinks he's above everybody else.
He's not. Well, he failed at Crystal Palace. He had to give up his club for free.
Yeah. Says a lot, doesn't it?
Isn't it?
Yes, we've already seen that one. Good evening, Jade. Evening, lads. Hope you're both well. Hope you are too, Jade. I spoke to her earlier. She's back on the show on Tuesday for the Fan Forum. And like I said, Jade has now agreed to co-host Thursday Night Live with us, where we'll do lots of crazy competitions. We'll be previewing the matches. We'll also start looking at the Premier League in general and other leagues and football around Europe as well. So that would be quite interesting as well to do. So I'm glad Jade's done that. Well and truly part of the Toon Review channel now. So nobody's going to pinch her. Bede, I've lost me track here. There we go. Murphy and Fernandez should be given extensions, especially when Gale received a new deal. That hasn't been confirmed yet, though, has it? I've never seen any.
Thing. Are they waiting until the end of the season to see? Because if we're still in the Premier League, there's no way he deserves a new contract. Dwight Gale, no chance.
Yeah,
absolutely no.
End of the season, though, we'll see a line of players just walking out with all the belongings, Pete. That's how it's going to be.
Probably will be.
I mean, what is it? 12, 13, 14 players out of contract? It'd be like a queue at a job centre, wouldn't it? Just all out the door with the personal belongings and see you later.
Exactly.
And that is going to be hard to replace, especially if this man is still in charge of our club next season. Well, both Ashley and Bruce. Ollie says, I think that has always been TalkSport's strategy, just to say absolute ludicrous stuff to wind the fans up for attention. Yeah, I agree with that, actually. Completely agree. Simon Jordan is a wanker. Yep, undoubtedly. Yep, we don't like him because... And the thing is, it's because of what he said about us that gets, why we're so angry with him, and it's the same of a lot of pundits. Few conversations going on in the comments. Jake says, did some research and Bielsa had them in at least 3 hours a day, every day. Personally oversees everything himself and constantly coaching each player one-to-one. There you go. That's a manager, Pete.
Yes, that's a manager. All right, who's done very well with the lead side this season. Sitting in a good position in the league table. I think mid-table is a very fantastic achievement for Leeds get back into the Premier League, and they could say look to build on that next season, because that is a club with a good manager and a club that is run passion.
I just love the way that they have an attitude similar to what we had in the early 90s under Keegan. Is that, you score 4, we will try and go and score 5. Even when they're 6-0 down, they play the same way.
Exactly.
Just a joy to watch. And they have got some very good players in that team, and I think Leeds United will build on that in the summer. I really do, and I think they'll be stronger next season. So,
I think they will be as well.
They'll leave us behind completely. Dees, good evening. I have a horrid feeling that a nice contract extension is waiting for Bruce if we stay up. The cycle continues. I mean, we spoke about this, on the Four Horsemen when we briefly spoke about football, Peter. We could just imagine at the end of the season, if we stay up, waking up and going downstairs, and then all of a sudden, bang, we see it. It's been announced 6-year extension for Steve Bruce. I would actually cry. I'm 6'5", grown man. I would cry.
Oh, I think everyone will be drinking the sorrows completely. I mean, if he gets a new contract, my God, they're going to be absolute hell on.
Without a doubt.
Oh my God.
Andrew says there, I thought Jade did really well the other night with You Mad Lot. Listen, that was on the Tuesday fan forum, and that is a lot more calmer than what the Monday night show is, put it that way. There is no other show like the Four Horsemen of the Toon, and you can absolutely guarantee that. But like I said, that is our night to let our hair down and have a good laugh, a Monday night. So,
absolutely. Well, I've to say for my show, I'm going to put something a bit funny, which Archers give us permission to. So,
all right, I'll check. I'll definitely be watching. I will be watching. Don't worry. We've got about 5 minutes left, guys, of the show. I just want to show there was one more still I wanted to show you, Pete. This will probably get your back up. Actually, I'll just run down a few more comments just so I don't. I was laughing at Simon Jordan's comments stating Palace are a bigger club than Celtic. The bloke is biased and clueless. I mean, what a thing to say. Andrew says more drama at Newcastle United than Coronation Street and EastEnders combined. Yeah. Crazy part of it is how many Leeds players were mid-table championship. Bruce does the opposite, turns Premier players into championship ones. He's the anti-Bielsa. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't really argue with that. Newcastle drama remains undefeated. And Bede says Mondays strictly adults only. Haha. Did you see the thumbnail I did for this week's show, Pete?
I think I did, yeah.
With the 18 age warning on the two sides.
I love that. Yeah, I love that because I'm sure it may as well be that amount of comments
but you know what?
Thrown in, bloody hell.
Exactly, but we love doing it, man.
Oh, we do.
I think 95. I mean, I got three thumbs down on last show.
Well, you're gonna get that.
Of course
That's
you are.
the thing.
Of course you are.
It's
but
all.
you know
It's
what?
all what YouTube's all about.
But the main feedback we've had, Pete, on that show is that just everybody has a good laugh, and that for me is how it is. We laugh like mad on the show. I mean, I'm physically knackered when I come off that show because I've laughed so much. It drains me.
Well.
But, as long as people enjoy it, it's close to the bone. If they don't like it, they don't have to watch it. But if they like to have a laugh, then they watch. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about.
That's the main thing about Monday's show.
And Chipper says, I'll be ready for Monday night.
We know you will be. We know you will be.
Yeah. Andrew says, I see you've got over 18s on next week's poster for the Four Horsemen. Maybe it should be over 25. I know. But you know what it is? It's a laugh. That's why I did it. It just to make people laugh when they saw the thumbnail for it and so, it's gone to 18 only. But you know what it is? I just find it hilarious. I love doing that show. I love doing it.
It's just fantastic to be a part of it. That's the main thing. It gets better and better.
It does
every time now.
I just look forward to 8 o'clock on a Monday night now. It's just
now that's the only good thing about Mondays.
Exactly, it cheers people's Mondays up. It's the start of the week. Jonathan says got to start Wilson tomorrow. Totally agree. Bruce, hello. Stop asking me stupid questions. I know what I'm doing, and I would be staying up and backing Maxi to save my job. Yeah, that's what he'd say if he was pressured into really, a proper. I just get frustrated that he never gets asked the real tough questions in these press conferences.
That's a thing.
Does my head in.
Same, yeah.
Andrew says, great show, lads. And Dave says, not wrong with the Four Horsemen. Clean family viewing. Exactly, Dave. Exactly. Now, Pete, I want to show you this comment from David Moyes before we wrap the show up.
Okay.
It's a tough game. I think Steve has done a good job and has done what has been asked. He's had a really good support from his owner in difficult times. And because of that, I think you can see Newcastle staying up when many people thought there should be changes. I mean, what is it with these managers, Pete, that just talk utter shite?
Oh, you wonder what are they taking or drinking before giving out these, because they're absolutely bizarre half the time.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce, he's done a shocking job. Man.
I mean, it's embarrassing. Surely these managers that say this about Steve Bruce will look back and think, oh, my God, what did I say that for? What an absolute tool I look right now, saying that he's done a good job. How can 3 wins in 23 games be a good job?
That's not a good job. That's a sackable offence. You'd be out the door. Any other under a decent ownership, they would have said, sorry, time's done.
Exactly. Pathetic. Andrew says, David's like bullseye on a Sunday afternoon tea time. No, it's not. Definitely not. Jake says, journalists won't ask tough questions. They'll get kicked out of the club. Exactly. And that's what spoils it, because journalists are there to ask the tough questions. And as a manager, Steve Bruce should sit there and take these questions. But that just proves what an absolute tart the man is.
Exactly. Man.
You're very funny, Dees. You're very, very funny. And here, hello, both late to the party. That is shocking. And the fact that you've gone against Newcastle again this week in here, and you're on a lot of the Newcastle channels, that is not on. But you can watch the rerun, my friend. It'll be there straight away. Dave says, yep, Andrew, all good fun. Of course it is. That's what that last word there is exactly what the Horseman is. It's fun.
It really is.
Exactly. If you don't like the language or that, then don't watch. If it offends you, don't watch it. It's your choice to watch it or not. And if you do watch it, then have a good time. Have a laugh. That's what it's
the main thing.
But if you don't like the language or anything that's said, then don't watch. It's your prerogative. Okay?
Absolutely.
Chipper says 19 wins in 70 league games says all. Fucking shite. Exactly. And D said, I thought I would have baited you there. No, because I just read it. When I clicked on it, I read what it said, and I thought, nah, nice try. Beat said, could you imagine Bruce came on the Four Horsemen show? Wow.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ. I'd love it. I'd love it, Beat. I would love it.
Oh, yes, we would.
In the words of Kevin Keegan, I would absolutely muller the guy. I would have him in tears by the end of the Four Horsemen. I guarantee it.
Absolutely, I think you would.
Yeah. In fairness, Moyes and others are just being polite, but if they can't or won't say the truth, they shouldn't say anything. It's just bland. Exactly, Tom. Exactly. And Anir says, I'm from down south, so I'm unbiased. No, you're never unbiased. You're never biased towards us. It's always us losing, Anir. Let's get that right. I still love you, though. You know, you're a good kid. Jake said, could you imagine if Joe Linton came on the Four Horsemen?
Oh, God.
Hey, you know what? I would love it if Joe Linton came on the show, because
along with the other crap average players we've got at this football club as well, because I think we'd be schooling them completely.
Yeah. By the way, I'm hoping that Warren Barton's going to be on the channel very soon. I've spoken to Charlotte from the Trust, and she's trying to work out a date for Warren Barton to come on the show and talk about the pledge. So I'll let everybody know if and when that's going to happen. It'll be fantastic to get Warren on and hopefully talk to him about Newcastle United as well. But I'll let you know so you can get your questions in and everything like that in due course. Right, just to wrap up, I love the Four Horsemen. When we're meeting up for pints, that's going to be such a laugh. I mean, we could have we could actually have a Four Horsemen themed night, Peter, in a pub. Can you imagine that?
That would be brilliant.
The Four Horsemen on the top table, taking questions and that from everybody. Sell some tickets, donate the ticket money to Parkinson's UK. It's done. You know, that would be absolutely fantastic.
Certainly will be.
Oh God, yeah. No, Chippers, I'm not reading your filth out tonight, mate. You can get lost. Andrew says, Annie the Toon hater. If Joe Linton came on, then John would be too excited and he won't come on. Yeah, I know. That's a possibility. Right. That has been the press conference review, guys. Tomorrow it is the big game, 12:30 kickoff, St James's Park, Newcastle United against West Ham. I will be back with my Match Reaction live show straight after the game around 2:30. So please do tune in for that. I have a massive viewing figures for that show. It's you know, I get vibration white finger from going through all the comments that are coming in that fast. So don't miss that show at 2:30 tomorrow. Peter, you've got a show coming up at 9 o'clock tonight. Would you like to just tell everybody about that?
Yep. So live show at 9 p.m. because I think we need to have a certain discussion about a good old technology that was supposed to be doing its job, but it looks like it's gone absolutely pear-shaped completely this season, and that is VAR. So come on over. Have your say about it, and it'd be great to have you on.
Will you do us a favor, Pete? Put another Twitter post out with the link on, will you? And everybody watching now will hopefully see that link come onto Twitter. We'll get more watching. So do go across to Peter's channel. That's 9 o'clock tonight, talking about VAR. Should be a cracker because we all hate the damn thing. So you know, it's got many people's backs up this season, without a doubt. So it's a brilliant subject for Peter to cover, and it should be a great show. I'll certainly be watching, and I won't be putting any rude comments like Chippers. Just watch out for those comments, Peter. Whatever you do, read them before you screen them. Read them before you screen them.
We can have a bit of humor, but not
exactly.
It's about VAR.
Yeah,
the main stuff's for Monday.
Definitely. Right. Thanks for coming on, Peter. And I look forward to watching your show at 9 o'clock, mate. I'll speak to you soon, buddy. Ta-ra.
See you later, man.
So that was PD Proudlock there, and obviously his show is tonight at 9 o'clock, talking about VAR, and it's a big subject, is VAR, and Peter's doing right to talk about it because nobody likes the damn thing. Let's be honest. But that's it from the Toon Review tonight. It's been a great show. Loads of comments coming in again, all brilliant as usual, with your comments about Steve Bruce and the press conference and what was said and how you're looking forward for tomorrow. It's always great to have people interacting on the shows. It really is. And thank you to everybody. If you have enjoyed the show, then please do hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel and you like what you've seen, please do consider subscribing. The channel is building really nicely now, and it's all down to you guys out there. So I can only say thank you very much. It's amazing. It really is. But I will be back tomorrow around about 2:30. So make sure you come to this channel at 2:30 to see the Match Reaction live. Come on the live comments, put what you thought of the game, what you thought of the starting lineup, and we'll have a discussion about it. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your Friday night, and early kickoff at 12:30 tomorrow. We'll see how the lads do. Come on, 3 more points. How are the lads? Good night, everybody.
Be strong.